Hey everyone, welcome back for another news snippet from J-Bell Entertainment TV. All right, let's dive into the life of a true icon, Quincy Jones. This guy, he wasn't just a musician, he shaped the sound of music for over half a century. And his influence, you can still feel it today.
Yeah, and it's amazing how Jones's journey shows you the power of focus, From the beginning in Chicago, facing hardship and finding music, to becoming this global producer, composer, arranger. That focus is undeniable.
You're so right. It's all over his career. Think about it. Born during the Depression, raised by his grandma after being separated from his mom, then moved to Washington State, totally new family.
Yeah, upheaval like that, it could really mess someone up. But for Quincy, music, it was his anchor.
Totally.
And remember that story about him breaking into a rec center when he was just 11? Finds this old piano and basically teaches himself to play. He said he was guided by, get this, God's whispers. Wow, serious dedication.
11 years old. And that's just the start. He wasn't happy just learning one instrument. No, he masters trumpet, piano, trombone, arranges for all sorts of groups. By 15, he's so good he gets a job offer from the legendary Lionel Hampton.
It didn't last long, but that early experience with Hampton's band, it just shows his focus, Thrown into the world of pro musicians at that age, traveling, performing, all those intricacies of big band jazz.
The total crash course.
Then he thrives in it.
Yeah, he had this hunger to learn, to grow. He wasn't going through the motions, he was taking it all in. That drive takes him from Seattle to Boston, studies at Schillinger House, which you might know it today as Berklee College of Music.
Yeah, and Schillinger House, for those who don't know, it was revolutionary, really.
Yeah.
Focused on math and science, applied to music theory and composition. Perfect for Jones. He had that analytical mind.
Wanted to push the boundaries, but he doesn't get stuck in academia. Goes back on the road with Hampton.
Honing those skills.
Trumpet and arranging.
It's that back and forth education, real world. It shows how he valued both, the theory, the practice.
And that's what makes him different, right? Not just talented, but focused on mastering his craft, every angle.
Absolutely.
And his focus wasn't just American jazz. He tours Europe, the Middle East, with Dizzy Gillespie's band.
Yeah.
A whole new world opens up.
Yeah, all these musical influences, cultural perspectives. It was huge for him.
I didn't just see these cultures, he lived them.
Yeah.
Next stop, Paris. Working for Berklee Records. Studying with Nadia Boulanger, the legend who taught Copland, Philip Glass.
It's so interesting. Him picking Boulanger, she was all about classical music, rigorous. Seems like a million miles from jazz, right? But Jones knew he had to grow, had to push himself out of his comfort zone.
And that's a thread through his whole career, isn't it? This drive to learn, to change, to break those barriers. Musical, cultural, it all comes from that focus on his craft.
He wasn't okay with just being good. He had to be great. And he knew that meant dedication, learning, pushing those boundaries, what's possible. You gotta push it.
It's inspiring, and then you see that focus when he faces setbacks too. Back to New York, forms his own big band. The music scene is changing. Pop music is starting to
take over.
Yeah.
And remember Free and Easy, that musical he put together, flopped. But he didn't give up. Kept that band together, toured Europe for months, even sold publishing rights just to keep things going.
Resilience right there.
And leadership too. He didn't just inspire himself, he inspired everyone around him to keep going, even when it was rough.
And all that leads him to this big turning point.
Yeah.
Producing pop music.
That's where you really see it, that ability to adapt, to evolve, but keep his core values. He brought that same focus, that detail from jazz to pop.
Didn't just bring it, he made it work. Hit after hit for Leslie Gore, It's My Party.
That song is a perfect example. He knew another version was about to drop, so he had to move fast. Got Gore's version to radio stations first.
Drove around New York City himself, hand-delivering the record. Dedication. And it paid off. Number one, Leslie Gore's career takes off. Jones becomes the hitmaker.
And that leads to another milestone. 1964, first black vice president of a major record label, Mercury Records. Huge moment.
For him, for the industry. It shows you his talent, his work, his focus. They broke those barriers down.
Yeah.
But even then, he didn't stay put.
Always looking for the next challenge, the next creative outlet.
And that takes him to Hollywood. Film scores. Think about the films, The Pawnbroker, In Cold Blood, The Color Purple.
All these different approaches, different kinds of focus.
He wasn't just like churning out background music. No, he was making scores that they were part of the film, part of the feeling. And it wasn't just composing. Remember The Color Purple? He wasn't just the composer, he was also the associate producer.
I know. It's crazy how he managed all these roles, all these projects. He wrote that entire score in what, like less than 2 months while doing other stuff. Amazing work ethic.
He knew how to focus.
And compartmentalize.
Right.
Whatever he was working on, that was it. Full focus.
Right. Theme songs for TV shows too. Sanford and Son, Ironside.
That
He was
right.
everywhere. It was like this superpower, channeling his energy, his focus, but even superpowers.
They have their limits.
Yeah. 1974, huge health scare. Brain aneurysm,
Yeah.
life-threatening.
It was a wake-up call, you know? Even someone as driven as Quincy, he was still human.
His friends even put together a living funeral concert,
Yeah.
thinking he wouldn't make it.
All those music legends paying tribute while he's still alive.
He went, doctor's orders, no excitement. But it shows you how much respect, how much love in the music world for this guy.
Yeah. But this brush with, mortality, it didn't stop him. He recovered, slowed down a bit, married Peggy Lipton. And then comes the partnership that changed pop music forever. Michael Jackson.
Michael Jackson.
All those years of experience, all that dedication, all that creativity, it all comes together.
Off the Wall, Thriller, Bad. These weren't just albums. This was, I don't even know. They changed everything, what pop music could be.
And what's amazing is Jones's focus, it helped shape Jackson's talent, Made it even stronger, pushed him to explore new sounds, better songwriting, this level of perfection. Very few people reach that.
Thriller, especially. It wasn't just the music. It was the videos, the dancing, the whole package. All planned, all crafted. Jones's attention to detail, it's almost obsessive.
And the results, they speak for themselves. Best-selling album of all time, records broken, expectations shattered. It was Jackson's artistry, it was Jones's production, talent and focus, a perfect storm.
But even then, he doesn't stop. Launches his own label, Quest Records.
And Quest wasn't just about hits, it was about
Variety.
yeah, giving a platform to all these different artists. Legends like Sinatra, new guys like Tevin Campbell.
Joy Division, post-punk band, Sonny Simmons, experimental jazz saxophone.
He had such a range, eclectic taste. He wanted to support music, all kinds, pushing things forward.
It wasn't just about him, his success. It was about nurturing, pushing boundaries. And speaking of pushing boundaries, we are the world. All those stars together for famine relief in Ethiopia.
Amazing how he brought people together, All that energy, all that focus on a common goal.
He could have just focused on his own thing, his career. But he knew music could make a difference, and he used his position to do it.
It wasn't just charity, he used his influence, his connections to make people listen. Hope and solidarity, that's powerful.
And that commitment to social justice, it's there throughout his career. The Color Purple. Not just a film, a statement. Race, gender, resilience.
Yeah, he used his art to shine a light on things that matter, give a voice to people who weren't being heard, to inspire change. But he knew how to have fun, too. Didn't take himself too seriously.
Always had that playful side, a sense of humor. It comes through in the music.
Even the serious stuff. He knew music could be fun and make you think, bring you joy, make you reflect. And that's why his legacy is so strong. He wasn't just a musician, he was a cultural force.
Yeah.
Used his platform to entertain, inspire, make the world better. He showed us that focus and dedication, they can lead to amazing things. That collaboration makes us stronger. That music can actually change the world.
Last time, we were talking about how Quincy Jones, how his focus helped him through those changes in the music industry. When jazz
It wasn't so popular anymore. He didn't hold on to the past, He adapted, brought that incredible musicality to, a new genre, pop.
And he didn't just try it out. He went all in. Producing hits for Leslie Gore, It's My Party.
It's My Party. Such a good example of, his focus on detail, strategic thinking, turns a song into a smash. He knew another version was coming out, so he had to get Gore's version out there first to the radio stations.
You drove around New York City himself, right?
Yeah.
Hand delivering the record. That's commitment.
Total commitment.
Paid off, though. Number one, Leslie Gore's career, it takes off. And Jones, he becomes the hitmaker.
Leads to another big moment, too. 1964. He becomes the first Black vice president of a major record label.
Mercury Records.
Mercury Records, a huge deal.
It really is. It's a testament, to his talent, how hard he worked, his focus on being excellent, breaking down those barriers. But even then, he didn't just stay there.
Always moving.
Always looking for the next challenge, right? The next way to express himself creatively.
And that's what takes him to Hollywood.
Hollywood.
Yeah, composing film scores. Think about the films, The Pawnbroker, In Cold Blood, The Color Purple.
Such a range.
Each one needed a different kind of music, different kind of focus.
He wasn't just, making generic background music. He was creating scores that they were part of the story, the emotion of the film. And it wasn't just composing either. The Color Purple, remember?
Yeah, he was the associate producer too.
It's amazing how he handled all that. So many roles, projects. He wrote that entire score in, less than 2 months? And he was working on other things at the same time.
It's his work ethic,
Incredible.
And that ability to, compartmentalize. Focus on the task at hand, whatever it was.
He even wrote theme songs for TV.
Yeah.
Sanford and Son, Ironside.
Iconic.
He was everywhere. It was like he had this, superpower or something, focusing his energy wherever it needed to go.
But even superpowers, they have their limits. 1974, he has this major health scare.
Brain aneurysm.
Yeah, life-threatening. It was a wake-up call, I think. Even someone as driven as Quincy, he was still human.
His friends thought he might not make it. They put together a living funeral concert. Can you imagine that?
Well, there's music legends paying tribute to him while he's still alive.
And he went.
He did.
Doctor said, no getting excited. But it shows you, right? The respect, the love for this guy in the music world. It's huge.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And this, facing death, it didn't stop him. He recovered, slowed down a little, married Peggy Lipton. And then comes this partnership that would change the face of pop music forever.
Michael Jackson.
All those years of experience, dedication, creativity, it all comes together.
Off the Wall, Thriller, Bad. These weren't just albums. They don't even know they changed everything, what pop music could be.
And it's amazing Jones's focus. It helped Jackson, his talent. It became even stronger, pushed him to try new sounds, write better songs, reach this level of perfection that very few people reach it.
Thriller, especially.
Yeah.
It was everything. The music, the videos, the dancing, the whole package. All planned out, perfectly crafted. Jones's attention to detail, it's crazy.
It's obsessive.
Yeah.
And the results, they speak for themselves. Best-selling album of all time. Broke records, changed everything. It was Jackson's artistry and it was Jones's production. That combination of talent and focus.
A perfect storm.
Yeah.
But even with all that success,
yeah,
he keeps going. Launches his own label, Quest Records.
And Quest, it wasn't just about the hits. It was about something bigger.
Yeah, giving a platform to all sorts of artists. You had legends like Sinatra, but also new artists. Tevin Campbell.
Joy Division, that post-punk band. Sonny Simmons, experimental jazz.
He had such a wide range. He wanted to support music, all kinds, pushing it forward.
It wasn't just about him or his success. Nurturing talent, pushing those boundaries.
And speaking of pushing boundaries, We Are the World.
All the stars together.
For famine relief in Ethiopia. Amazing how he brought everyone together.
All that energy, all that focus on a single goal.
Yeah.
He could have just focused on his own career. But he knew music could make a difference, and he used his platform to do that.
And it wasn't just charity, it was. He used his influence, his connections to get people to listen, to spread that message of hope, of solidarity. That's powerful.
And that commitment to social justice, it's throughout his career. The Color Purple, not just a film.
It was a statement about race, about gender, about resilience. So we spent the last 2 parts of this deep dive going through Quincy Jones's career. It's incredible. From jazz to global success, producer, composer, humanitarian.
Yeah, and one thing really stands out, right? Focus. He wasn't just talented, he was, relentless, always pushing for excellence.
It's true. It's amazing how much he did, and so many different things. But it wasn't just the amount, it was the quality.
And that came from, his focus. He put in the time, he experimented, he pushed himself out of that comfort zone.
Think about it. He went from big band jazz to arranging strings for pop songs, like Leslie Gore's It's My Party. That takes serious focus and a willingness to learn new stuff.
Yeah, an internal compass, always pointing him towards growth, towards new things, never settled, always striving to be better, do more, break new ground.
And he didn't let those setbacks stop him. Remember, Free and Easy, that musical, total flop, but he didn't give up.
Nope, he doubled down, committed to that band, touring Europe, selling publishing rights, whatever it took.
That's resilience.
It comes from focus, He didn't dwell on the failures, he used them, fuel to keep going.
He was amazing at, juggling things too. Composing scores, producing albums, running a label, social justice work. It's
A lot.
It is. How did he manage it all?
Compartmentalizing, prioritizing. He knew what was important, he focused on that, and, he delegated when he needed to.
He wasn't a one-man show either.
Yeah.
He knew how to work with people. Collaboration. We are the world.
The perfect example. All those icons together.
He brought them all together, all that energy, all that focus on one goal.
Yeah, a shared vision.
And Michael Jackson. That partnership, it wasn't just about talent, it was about
Shared vision, laser focus on creating something new.
groundbreaking.
Yeah. Jones pushed Jackson, challenged him to refine his craft, explore new things, and Jackson, he inspired Jones to push those boundaries of pop music production.
Thriller. It's the ultimate proof.
It really is.
It wasn't just an album, it was everything. Changed everything.
And it wasn't just the music either. Jones was involved in every part of it. The writing, the production, the videos, the marketing. He was.
Everywhere.
Yeah. He knew success. You got to look at the whole picture. Every little detail matters. And that's what set him apart. That attention to detail, that focus.
That's inspiring.
So, as we wrap up this deep dive, what are the takeaways?
For me, it's focus, collaboration, and I guess realizing that success, it's talent, hard work, and that constant drive to be excellent.
He showed us that being good isn't enough. You gotta be great. And greatness, it's constantly evolving, adapting, staying committed to your craft.
He said it best himself. Music washes away the dust of everyday life. And his music, it's done that for so many people all over the world.
He left behind so much. Amazing music, groundbreaking achievements, a real impact on the world.
So when you listen to his music, think about the man behind it. The man who, he dedicated his life to music, to being excellent, and he used his position to make the world a better place.
And remember that focus, that drive, that passion. Those are things we can all work on. It doesn't matter what you do, those are things we can all have.
From J Bell Entertainment TV,
Stay curious.
and keep those questions coming.